them now. They all stand around shoulder to shoulder in attics. Let me get this area. This is the catering area that had the gas and electric and whatever else in here. Hookups, and I guess it could still be that. Could a snack bar area. The ceiling is real bad. The roof is leaking and causing damage throughout the building. And this ceiling in here is pretty good, except for one section there, which we took before too. And here's looking back down into that bar entry area, into the women's room. And we'll go into the women's room and get that as the last shot. Battery is indicating here. So this is the powder room. The sink's gone, vandalized out. And then here's two stalls. And all the paint falling down from the ceiling. And the entryway, it's all peeling because of the weather. And he's looking back out into the bar room area. See where the tank, or the wall part has been busted to get at the metal, I guess. Kids have been bowling up against the wall back there. And digging into the wall where you can see one section right back there where it'll eventually go through the wall. So we could fix up that wall, strengthen it, and put pads back there, and then let them bowl, let them set up the pins themselves by hand and bowl, and then go back and set up another one. It's on the second floor. This is the window the kids were climbing up the tree, which is now cut down. And it's got a lot of shelf space. There's more balls down underneath that shelf there. Very high ceiling. And this would make a good office storage room, equipment room, or it's got storage lockers there. And there's a window that's blocked up on the outside. And there's an old desk, antique desk, or it's winter damaged. Now this is the main basement, the boiler room, the blowers and whatever, and then that's Stephen Hickles standing there holding a board over the light so it doesn't shine. And that's okay. Okay, you can stand back. You don't have to hold it up anymore, Stephen. Okay, tell us your name.
My name is Stephen Hickles.
Where do you live?
2414 North 41st.
What do you want to do when we open up this building?
Play bowling.
And what else?
And pool.
And what else?
That's it.
No ping pong? No card games? Monopoly games? Other games? Whatever, huh? What about dancing? We got dances in here.
I didn't know that.
Upstairs we may have dances. Okay, now here, let's see. Now we're going downstairs. And okay. This is the stairway going down into the main boiler room underneath the bowling alley. And turn off the daytime unit. And it's lit up with incandescent bulbs to the extent we can. So here we'll just take, that's the doorway into the boiler room there, that Stephen's standing in. And here's the main panel with the main electric panels up and down. The main one, the Wadsworth, is right down below there. And then there's the gas meters normally go in the middle room, and then the fire room is just the paint room in there. And here's one of the blowers here, and then there's another one going back into that area. Here, turn this switch on right here. See that switch on that post there? Turn that one on. Okay, there, get a little bit of light going back there. You can see the blowers and the heat exchanger. There, this is the heat exchanger. The blower is over here, then there's another one behind there. These old things, I guess, I don't know if we're going to be able to use these or not. Probably not, but there's more electric over here, and that's the panel for the, probably for the equipment. Okay. Well, there's just odd pieces of lumber stored in here. This is more of a maintenance shop down here. And piping. And paint stored in here, but this would make a good workshop. Be a good workshop in here. Okay, and that one doesn't have a bulb. Okay, now open up that door there. Open up this one here. Okay, we'll go inside there. See the big old boilers that have water. They fill those full of fire and heat up the water, and the water goes up in the radiators. Those are big old boilers, Stephen, the old kind. That's what they have in ships too, big old steamships. So in this room, huh?
What is that?
Yeah, this thing, I don't know what the heck, why it's acting up. It's probably the dampness and the coolness, whatever. But there's an old water heater. I don't know what that water heater is used for, but you can see this room. And I've stored some stuff down here. What we're going to do when I get you guys, we're going to get all the bowling balls and the pins, and we're going to start putting them down in the basement here to protect them before anybody steals them. Or steals any more of them. And, okay, now let's go back.
We can go back upstairs.
Yeah, I just want to say, okay, I'm going to take a picture of you going up the stairs, and then I'll lock up down here, and oh look, I still need to get some stuff up there, bring it down here. You can say, adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos.
You know what that means?
I'm finna go.
Yeah, go with God, friends. That's Spanish. Go adios means with God. Dios is God. Adios with God. Amigos. Amigos is friends. Okay, there we go. And this is going back and looking at the roof into the sun. I don't know how these are going to turn out. And here's the top of the roof. We'll get a better picture of this later. There's the SA. There's the building next door, the bar. There's a drop off down here between the buildings. You can see, I don't want to step on the paper here. It's pretty flimsy paper. But we'll walk back over this way and check out the other roof. This is the roof of the add-on where the office is and the stairwell are, where the attic access door is. There's the access. Down, looking down into the ladder. And that's the camera cap flapping around in the breeze. So this part here, there's the brick pile, the backyard. And see where the alley is in our corner. We have plenty of space to add on if we needed it. Yeah. And you can see where the grill window has been put up over the back. Bushes cut down. And now we're going to go over and take a look at these machines. To get up on this steel ladder. Oops, gotta get the rungs. Skip a rung. Okay. Here are the air conditioners, which is, I think this is where the Schmidt contractor wanted to put the heating units right in these. Combination heating, air conditioning, blowers, whatever, blowing everything down into the building through the vents and tie in the vents, but seems real efficient for heat on the roof. Inefficient. next door have access windows. There's an empty room inside there, and that window has no lock. It just slides right open, and you can tell that it's fairly easy. The space to get across here. It's just a step-in space, more or less, and it's just the walkway going in between the building here. But this is where we need to put something, put storm windows on there if nothing else, and then that would sealed from the outside or screwed in from the outside, and that would keep people from coming over from that end. There's the air intake, and then you can see some of the patchwork that's been done around it. Some of the other patching, that was where the big leak was coming in at the bottom of a screw. There had been a hole drilled into the roof right around here, right where that shadow is probably, chopped into the roof with a hatchet, and so they're trying to get access that way. There's the fourth air conditioning unit. That's the brace for the sign, which once the sign's down isn't needed, but it's a support. Oh, and here's a fifth air conditioning unit, so there's 5 air conditioning units. This is a vent stack here that belongs right over here where we've got capped off with a piece of plywood, and also a bucket on top of it just to keep rainwater from getting down in there, but that needs to be have a new one put on there and braced, put up on the chimney. I'll try to get close enough where you can see some of the loose bricks. Yeah, there you can see some of the cracking that's occurring up there. That crack runs down about right down to there. So right in the mid section at the top. The extent of what needs to be patched, fixed, replaced, or whatever, rebuilt. I'm going to crawl up on top of this beam now, shut this off, and get a picture of the surrounding neighborhood. This is also the roof part. I don't know if the shadows are going to print, but you can see where it's in the valleys, it's broken pieces and glass and litter and whatever. But this looks like it needs to be replaced pretty much, or redone entirely. Some of them are upside down. One that's missing, one that's loose, missing, various broken, missing, upside down. Let's see. And take a picture of the entire neighborhood here, what we can see from the rooftop. This is North Avenue traffic. Those cars are heading west. I'm looking east, down North Avenue towards the lake. Getting back into the neighborhood. Trying to focus street there. This is the alley between 40th, 41st. There's 41st Street houses over there. This is the house next door. And this is looking up North Avenue towards the west. And traffic coming from there going east. And there's 41st and 40th Alley. House going across 60th extent of the street. A lower shot. There's 6 of these. I should get this count. There's 1. This is above the teen lounge, directly above probably the mid lounge area. This is above lanes 1 and 2. This is 9 and 10 on the second floor, and this would be 11 and 12 That would be 13 and 14. That would be 15 and 16, and actually way over towards the corner above where the old scorekeeper stand used to be. And then here is in the back, and this is above the men's toilet. And so those are 6 that were added on later, I'm sure. And I'm not sure of the extent to which they blow cool air, or how the ductwork works to get down into the first floor or whatever. Please check it out. Roof problems. There's a drain right there. This is the one that's above the I don't know if that's at lanes 1 and 2. Yeah, it's gotta be lanes 1 and 2 at the stairwell. It had a patch, but you can see by the discoloration, this is where the water is pooling, where there's a discoloration there, and that's because if it's indented, the roof needs to be built up. And you can see the same thing over here. This is the other middle drain, and the discoloration. And then the back one, this is where the biggest pooling occurs, the biggest puddling, and this is where the worst leaks were that ruined both the first floor and the second floor with the drain. Now there's the last little drip. The last one I checked, it was sweating around the patching that I had put around the pipe, but the pipes at the top, when we tear apart the roof, all need to be replaced by the plumber. And then of course the roof needs to be built up so that this the middle of the roof is built up to drain towards these drain pipes. Now there's not much pooling taking place other than these. It did on the other part of the roof. And actually I just stepped through a piece of the tile over here, right at the corner when I was standing up in that corner. There's a piece on the edge that I got too close to the edge and cut through, so I'm going to patch that up with some patching material right in there. And it's only about 6 inches, a little piece, and actually it's about an inch that's open, but I'll patch that up to prevent problems. But that shows you how delicate this stuff is, and what the problem is. The more we get up in the roof to get the water off, and as I swept the water off in all these puddles this morning to keep it from pooling and eating its way through, and eventually causing more leaks. So if I can use this roof for 2 years, we'll be lucky, and by that time I can rebuild it and redo all the heating, ventilating, and redo the drain pipes at the same time. Also, one of the things that might be possible if we're going to do this, and if it's feasible with the weather or whatever, is that if we're going to have a whole bunch of equipment on the roof, we may just build a shelter up here with nothing on it, so that all this stuff is enclosed on this end of the roof, and then build it with at a diagonal, so that the water just comes right off of that, and we don't have another roof that we're creating problems with. But at least then all this stuff would be enclosed over here if we're going to do it that way. And that's just feasible depending on what the wind conditions and how that would affect what's happening on the roof, and whether it could take the load. I think it would be able to take the load. I'm not too worried about that. It's a very strong building. You got steel beams underneath there, and it's above the restrooms and whatever, so we could build it up from the interior, and that has terrazzo floors in the first and second floor in the restroom areas, so I'm sure it was built up extra strong. Where the outside light is. And the yard, the brick pile, and I just wanted to show these windows.